Okay, let's connect your Bluetooth anyway, just before,
Okay.
so we can. You connected already?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, I got all your contacts now, bro.
Aha. You got like my mom and my friends, and that's it.
Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, peace and love, brothers and sisters. Buckle Up back again. You know, I realized that doing Buckle Up it's really great, but it also has a very good and positive impact on myself. Getting to know these artists in an environment where we're just chilling out and driving, it's just an incredible thing. So thank you for everybody who's been supporting and pushing, and this is really incredible. Today's guest is somebody that I became a fan of instantly, and it's just somebody who I totally respect. I think the word potential, I am just starting to hate the word potential anymore, because I think we're all born with a lot of amazing talent, and it's just a matter of just getting it out there. Somebody who expresses himself through hip hop, a culture that means a lot to me, a culture that connected me to a lot of people in the world. Somebody who has a very good, I think, support system. Somebody who is mad talented, somebody who speaks up, and somebody who's mad, young, and incredibly crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, Zenden Lavon. Peace and love, my brother.
What's up? How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Thank you for having me. Really
oh
appreciate
man,
it,
blessings, brother, man. Seriously, I'm so honored to have you right here on Buckle Up, man.
Thank you for having me. Bro.
You ready to buckle up?
Yeah, let's do it.
And now you can buckle up.
All right, bet. Let's do it.
Cool. All right. Zenden, we just at one of the studios. I just took you while you were shooting a music video. Off the top, tell us what you're shooting.
So I can't really say too
I can't say,
but I can say I've been working on a little thing for a couple. Actually, since I released the last album, B, I've been working on the next thing that you'll find out what it is.
You're always working.
I'm always working. Yeah, true.
I see that, man. Okay, cool. We can't wait for that.
Yeah.
So listen, I read somewhere that your mother, may God bless her, she used to sing for you a lullaby.
Yes.
It's a Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Cry Me a River.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, she's
and you were into singing. And guess what? I was just, on YouTube, and I saw a young Zenden.
Oh my God, no.
I saw that video.
Oh God.
I'm like, wow.
No, you found those videos?
Yeah, of course, brother. That's amazing.
Videos?
What I'm trying to say is you had it from, when did you realize that you were into singing, and then obviously rapping is your thing. Tell us about this exploration of this art and how you got into it.
Well, I mean, like you said, it was from a very young age. My mom used to sing to me, and I used to sing with her while I was going to sleep and whatever, and then I just kind of fall asleep. So from the beginning, it was kind of just, I don't know, it was just kind of etched into me that I liked music. My parents would play everything for me, and we used to sing along in the car to Bob Marley. I grew up on a lot of Bob Marley too. My dad used to play him all the time, so that's one of my biggest influences actually.
Big up, yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't think it was until I got a little bit older till I realized that I could actually be a singer. It was just one of those things where it's I like singing, so I'll do it. I think I sang.
Would you say there's a lot of people that say always, I found hip hop found me. Which one is it for you? Is it hip hop found you?
Yeah, definitely hip hop found me. Because that's the thing. Because I didn't even realize. I mean, growing up, we don't really know the difference between what is hip hop and what's not when you're when you're 3 years old. So you're just hearing music, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. I know I like this. And then I remember my dad played when I was maybe 9 or 10. He played Mine's Playing Tricks on Me by the Ghetto Boys. And first of all, that song is fucked up. That song is messed up, bro. There's some really messed up stuff in that song. But I remember that my dad played it for me, and that the beat for that, that was the craziest thing to me. And I remember
that attracted you.
Yeah, from that moment.
Do you remember that moment? Or
I remember. I remember hearing the I sit alone in the four-corner room staring at candles. I remember hearing that and just being like, what? And then the beat kicked in and the drums, and then that sample. I remember being like, is that a Batmobile? That's a Batmobile.
Wait, 1 second, guys. I gotta show you this because he's talking out of respect. I'm just showing, and then is that a Batmobile? You gotta shoot something next to that car. I'm telling you, that's what happens in Buckle Up, man.
How?
Is that
why?
That is a Batmobile, bro. Wait, 1 second. We gotta shoot it. Can I flip the camera here?
So, oh my God.
That is crazy.
Okay.
Whoop. That happens. This is it.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Who drives that? How do you drive that? Is that even that legal? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
We were saying.
That's what we were saying. What were we talking about? Ghetto Boys? Oh yeah. So yeah, that song that was kind of the first moment I realized that hip hop was hip hop. And I remember from that point on, I didn't think I was gonna be a rapper ever, but from that point on, I kind of made it a point to kind of listen to hip hop on purpose. So I was seeking out rappers, asking my dad like what he used to listen to and stuff. So that was like the first time where it kind of hit me that hip hop was a thing. And I remember from that moment on, whether or not I decided I was going to be a rapper at one point, that's when I realized I love hip hop.
You decided, okay. To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yes.
I know for a fact that it means something to you,
yes.
But I've seen interviews where you spoke about it. But I wanted to know from you, what, like, when you heard it,
yes,
as Zenden, what changed in you? Like, for example, in my case, I was just a regular kid in Saudi Arabia, and then I heard 4 rappers who are Arab, American, Arab, Palestinian, Arab, Iraqi, and then they changed my perspective. I changed as a person.
Yeah.
I flipped. I became more aware. I was like, oh, okay, music can elevate all these things.
Yeah,
that was the moment for me. For you, I think that hearing To Pimp a Butterfly by K-Dot was one of these moments. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, for sure. I think, because that's the thing. Okay, so let's just hit just a little background on my career, and I really hope that you guys don't go searching for these things. But when I first started out, I was like a horrorcore rapper, because my first reference to hip hop was the Ghetto Boys, and they are horrorcore rappers where they talk about like dismembering people and being crazy and being in straitjackets and stuff. So that's what I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest people doing that at the time was Eminem. And so basically my first album was just me trying to be Eminem.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of really aggressive stuff that just did not fit my like persona at all. But I thought it was cool. So, and then in between, and I realized that I remember I released that, and people were kind of like, they were surprised that I was able to create anything of any quality that wasn't like trash. And then, but I still realized that they didn't really care about it. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, listen to my song. They
didn't relate to them.
Yeah, like they just listened to it, and that was the only time that they would ever hear it ever again.
Okay.
And that was also kind of this was in like 2011, 12, something like that. So that was around the kind of the boom of this whole new like mumble rap, trap, hip hop stuff. And so I thought that's what was popular. So I would have been one of those rappers if it weren't for To Pimp a Butterfly, probably, because I remember it came out and
Sorry, when you say that, is that a problem to become a mumble rapper?
I think I was going for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
Because I was doing it. If that's truly what you want to do, and you're doing it, and you're doing it just for the love of the culture, and you're having fun, you're making money, and you're doing your whole thing, fine. But if it's one of those things where it's like you're just doing it to be popular, you're doing it just because everyone else is doing it. Like if you're rapping just for the sake of rapping and not because you want to rap, then
that's the wrong culture for you.
Yeah, exactly. So
what was it about To Pimp a Butterfly? Like, what was it? Like the whole thing? Or was it a special song?
I hated it first. I remember I listened to it. I hated it. I could not stand it. I was like, this is not fun. Because I was in that mindset of being that kind of trap rapper. So I was listening to a lot of like that type of music. So when I heard it, I was like, and I was piggybacking off of Good Kid, Mad City, where I heard like, if Firuz and Chris all got it, like that was, for me, that was like, yo, this is hype, this is dope, I like that. Yeah, so I was like, I want more Kendrick Lamar like that. And when the first track hit and it was like G-Funk and stuff, and I was kind of like, my mom and dad play this for me all the time, why do I need to hear another rapper doing it too? I was in the like complete wrong mindset, and I didn't even listen to the whole album actually. I listened to like the first 4 tracks and was
what was the switch? What made you like it?
Well, I kind of just put it down for like I think a week or 2, and then people kept talking about it, and I was like, it's not, I was like, in my brain, I was like, oh, it's not that good of an album. Why are you guys like freaking out or anything? And I was like, you know what, let me go listen to it again real quick. And so I sat down in my room. I remember I turned all the lights off. It was kind of late. I had like hot chocolate or something, I don't know. And I was sipping that and listening to it. I was literally just trying to figure out why people liked it so much. And this was also the first time that I had created this skill that I used to analyze music. But I listened to it and dissected every single layer and every single like line.
Lyrically or
production-wise, everything.
Oh, wow.
The meaning behind everything, the sequence, the way that he put it together. It's the first time I had ever put that much thought into listening to music ever. And I remember after it was done, the last line is when he's like, he recites that poem about the butterfly.
Yeah.
And then he's like, because he's like talking to Tupac, and he's like, and at the end he's like, Pac. And then the jazz music gets louder, and then it stops. He's like, Pac. And the album ended. I remember sitting back and just being like, what? I just watched a movie. Like I was just brought into a completely different world, and from that moment on, I was like, music it
impacted you.
Yeah, there was no, because I thought that genres couldn't be like, you couldn't cross genres or anything. It was like hip hop was hip hop, pop was pop, funk was funk, jazz was jazz. Like, but then I was like, no, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
and
of course.
From that moment on, I was changed.
And it's very interesting you say that, because B, obviously, you know, you're talking about, in my opinion, I think you're leaving it for interpretation, but I think you just want to say people be, just be.
Yeah.
Like love yourself, period. Like be who you are.
Right.
Which is a message I'm really, really big up to that. But also, if you notice, there's what you said about the patterns. I think that inspired you to also do somehow the same.
Yeah, so
there's a pattern, like,
from that moment on, I realized, that's the thing. Once I figured that out, I went back and listened to Good Kid, Mad City and Section 80 to try to see if I could find the other patterns. Oh hell yeah!
Oh my god!
Dude, there's patterns. There's patterns. Kendrick only makes concept albums.
Yeah, which is what I think you do. Like, yeah, and you're there for sure.
Yeah, from that moment on, I was like, yeah, I'm making concept albums.
Yeah.
Now. So like, B is a concept album. I was gonna hold off the meaning, but it's been like a year now, so I'll just tell. B actually was meant to mean that, but it's an acronym for Black Excellence.
Bless.
And so that's what the whole, that's towards the end, the last track. The last track, throughout the album you hear the ad-lib, me going black throughout the whole thing. At the very end, the last track is me talking about feeling kind of like left out of the culture, like me living in Dubai away from the rest of my people, feeling kind of like out of it, but still in it at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I have a line saying like, you will always remain a part of the culture. Yeah, so whether it's, you know.
But that's very powerful what you say.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's how I think now. Like, I think, I don't know. It was my dad's always been pushing me for like knowledge.
Blessings to your dad and mom. That's another segment, man. I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah, we gotta talk about my parents. But like, yeah, my dad's always been pushing me, constantly since like the very beginning, before I could even realize why he was doing it. Like, he was teaching me just all about Black history, how to survive in the world. As a Black man, and just how to be generally knowledgeable, just because you can't act like you're everybody else, because you're not. You have to go harder than everybody else always in order to stand out or just be on that top. So and I didn't realize why, and then I think, like I said, To Pimp a Butterfly, that whole era basically changed my entire mindset. Like I started reading more, I started learning, I started seeking knowledge more, and from that point on, it was just, in my entire life in general, I started asking my dad for like recommendations, like, yo, what,
incredible.
I need to read some stuff.
It's amazing what music was able to do for you,
yeah.
and look what it does to so many people. What you're saying though is incredible, but I'm also a bit sad about it.
About what?
Like, about the fact that you have to think that way. That's a very sad fact.
Yeah.
But it's the truth.
It is.
And
yeah.
it's the sad truth, like we say. You know, like Brother Ali, one of my favorite rappers. He has a song called "Dear Black Son,"
right.
And he's actually talking about that. He's talking how you live in a world where he sees beauty, but other people don't see that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he sees sees talent, but other people don't see that.
Right. It's hard because
and how to protect, like as a father, how do you protect your child who becomes a man in a world, sadly, who views these things as it's a danger.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing too. Like I try to, I've become kind of like the school activist at the school I go to, and I've kind of been trying to find ways to be able to relate to these people in a way that they'll listen to the side of the story, because there's a lot of instances where I realize that a lot of people just don't know because they're not taught it. Like, they don't know that people act like, oh, why are you always so like preachy about this stuff? And I'm just like, because it's an everyday thing.
Be loud, brother.
Like I live this every single day, and but they don't, so they don't understand the whole concept. So,
but you're not living it. That does not mean that somebody else is not.
Exactly. So yeah, exactly. That's why. So I try to do it through my music, however subtly as possible, or not. But I try to. My music is like the main point of my, like, the way I can vent.
Can I ask you a question? So you obviously, your friends, you're pretty young. You're young people. When you talk stuff like that, do they actually listen? Like, do you guys engage in that discussion? Is it stuff like that?
My close circle of friends, for sure, all the time. Like, that's where we get a lot. That's where I get a lot of my inspiration for songs. It's just some of these conversations, and I'd say that outside of the people that I choose to talk to about this thing, a lot of people, it's not really, they're conversations, I guess, but it's more questions. Like, there's a lot of people I get who like, for example, I like to post a lot of stuff about the Black community on my Instagram all the time.
Yeah, I saw that. That's beautiful.
and I like to.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Just saying, like they like to DM me and just be like, oh, I didn't know this was happening. Tell me more. I'm like, okay. And so they'll be like, so yeah, this is happening. It's been happening for this reason. Here's how you can help if you want to. There's like kind of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I guess that's considered a conversation, but it's mainly just me trying to spread more awareness of it because they don't know. And I like the fact that they're trying to. They're trying.
And
to
I think you also point out, things like today. I think you were talking about there's this cartoon or something like that African.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that was Barbie or something, but
that's really terrible.
Yeah, it is, and that's the thing too. Like most people wouldn't see a problem with that. Like most people would just see that as just like, okay, whatever. It's just a plot line or whatever. Little context. There's a bunch of like white Barbies and then there's one black Barbie and they all have straight hair. Yeah. But the black girl tried to do her hair and it turned into an afro and she was crying about it and everyone was like, ew, what is that? And so that's the whole.
But that's terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
even think about it from perspective where you come from, like the album Be and Be Yourself and and how they owe it. I mean, it's any human being should not feel less about themselves regardless of what they're regardless. And
I think, and the fact that that's the thing too, like a lot of times when these things kind of happen, when like Gucci does their kind of stuff.
Yes.
I'm always thinking, I always tell my friends that we laugh about it because I'm like, a bunch of people sat in a room in 2019 and said, this is fine, like this is okay, this won't stir up any problems, and they said,
thank you for saying that, because it went through a lot of people. It went through a lot of people that approved it.
Exactly.
Like how the hell it go?
Like nobody said, oh, this might be. Yeah. We should probably not.
Which is kind of alarming because like nobody. It seems that these kind of big corporations, they're only the suit wearing people. I would say they only care. They don't have nobody from the culture that they would understand if there's something bad or wrong.
That's a big point about. A lot of things too, especially like I like to talk about like the problem with the police brutality in the U.S.
Yeah.
There's a lot because you got a lot of people that don't understand how like the whole systems work. A lot of other places they're being deployed into.
Yes.
And so they just go in there and they're basically programmed to think that the people that they're going this area that they're going into is all dangerous and they should be like alarmed at all times.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen these videos of these people who they hire people that came from there as police officers and they can diffuse it in a completely different way that you can't be trained to do that unless you come from there. So being like that's a lot of different.
I see a lot of activism in you as well, man. Like is that something that you saw yourself getting into? Which is, I mean, big up to you because I mean I grew up on people like Public Enemy, Chuck D, Fight the Power, and when I met him, man, when I met Chuck D, it was like incredible.
You met Chuck D?
Yeah, man.
What?
Yeah, man.
When?
I found out I was in Jeddah. I found out he was going to Beirut. I took a flight, met him, and man, we were talking on Twitter like for a long time, and man. What an incredible guy. I'm telling you, he saved my life in a way because he's like, be loud, be who you are. And it's like, what?
Chuck D is a real deal, man.
So what Public Enemy and Chuck D stands for is fight the power, be who you are.
Exactly.
He even said something the other day on Instagram, said like, listen, like I defend what I stand up for. And I think right now, especially with young people, they're not realizing how important to stand up to what you believe in.
Yes.
I think how do you have the audacity not to stand?
Exactly.
And I'm shocked.
I don't.
To brutality, like how dare you? Like that's the kind of.
Actually, that's something that baffles me as well. Like just to think. I think it's hard to think that there's such a. We live in like a very drone mindset time where people are, I think, afraid to stand out. If standing out isn't the thing that everyone's trying to do.
Why are they afraid?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like I don't understand because people People, I guess, kind of have that mindset also. It was just like, oh, what can one person do? But
but that's terrible to think.
Exactly.
Because if you're going to think, like, for example, if I ban plastic, if I don't do plastic, what can I do? But if everyone does that, then you're not going to find a whale dead because there's 22 kilograms of plastic in his body. You know what I mean?
And we have to start somewhere.
Yeah, you got to start.
You can't like, if Martin Luther King just decided, all right, well, not me, because whatever. I mean, dude was a preacher.
Yeah.
He could have just said, well, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
But, you gotta start somewhere. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like people are beginning to start to try to do more now. But I think we still have a very long way to go. But I think the whole.
Do you believe that media plays a big role in it?
In like a good way or bad way?
In diffusing this activism in people.
Diffusing it?
Yeah. Like in sometimes, it's not cool to be that. It's not right to be that. It's not, Sometimes because of how they how like especially of how hip hop is portrayed, right? In some areas of the world, hip hop is portrayed a certain element, and for me, hip hop is really like this movement. it's bigger than just music, in my opinion. It's not just.
Yeah, I mean, hip hop started off with storytelling.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. You know.
I mean, yeah. I think.
Like when you look at media as an 18-year-old, what do you see? Do you see some representation for you?
Well, it's okay. So I think media, it's kind of hard to say that because it's just such a broad thing. Like for example, my social media is tailored to what I want to see. So like for example, I follow people like Diddy, T.I., Jay-Z. The Game, all these people.
That talk about the things that you want to talk about.
Yeah, Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P.
Rest
bro,
in
rest
peace.
in peace.
What did Nipsey mean to you?
Nipsey, that's the thing too. I felt really bad because I actually slept on Nipsey's music, but I was one of those people who like I always knew him as the super, the super conscious guy from the coast. Yeah, that I was.
I think a lot of people knew him as that.
Like I used to watch a lot of his interviews, and I knew him as that guy. Like I knew he was like super intelligent, super smart.
Yeah. Community man.
Yeah, my mom knew about him because she follows Lauren London.
Yeah.
Right? And they had that whole thing on, I think it was GQ.
Yes.
So we all knew about him, but I think I heard only like maybe 1 or 2 songs from him.
Yeah.
So in terms of his music, I was kind of like I slept on him a little bit.
But incredible. I mean, it's don't you think sometimes when people pass away and leave this earth, they become more appreciated?
Yeah, and
sadly,
I can't tell if that's a good or bad thing.
Yeah, me too. Like, I always get
because I want to say it's good because right now like his stuff is going up a lot, and that's helping the family. It's it's appreciating the community and everything. But at the same time, it's just kind of like I feel like the culture of hip hop is very strongly based around death. Like it's one of those things where it's like. Because you always like, I hear people always talking about like, oh, on the dead homies, you want to do this for the dead homies. It's like, oh, when I die, I'll become a legend, blah, blah, blah. And it's just kind of like, I'm not sure how like.
Yeah, I think he would be nice to be appreciated while he was,
well, I mean, I don't think, to be honest though, I don't think Nip was too caught up on appreciation, whatever. He was doing good for his community.
He was doing great, man.
And he's, even in death, he's still, I mean, he is now. This whole thing is happening. Like that is, it's beautiful to see that happen.
I mean, even knowing the story and stuff like that, it's really sad. I heard that he left his house to go and prepare something for his friend who was in 20 years in jail.
Mm-hmm. It was at his store,
to make him look fly. To make him look fresh because he's leaving jail. Mm-hmm. So he left without security, without that, to make sure that he prepares, shoes, clothing for his friend, for him to look fresh. And this is where, and a man from his community, sadly, shot. It's really sad. I wanted to ask you, but big up to you, man. Like you see the conversation we're talking. I mean, we're not even talking. Like your music is incredible, but I really like the way you think and your mind is really amazing. People like LeBron James, like the sports people, when they start supporting artists, we sadly don't have that in the Arab world. We don't have a figure who's like into sports, for example. That LeBron James always keep pushing all these artists, right? Whether it's like a Kendrick Lamar or like a Nipsey or like there's always a push. Yeah. What is it? How important is it for a guy like LeBron James and his importance to the culture to support artists like that?
I think it's one of those things where it's like, as someone who makes music, when you first start out, maybe your goal is purely just, I'm going to be like, I'm just gonna make music, I'm gonna be the best at what that is. Yeah. Once you start really getting into the groove of it, and you're just getting to the point where you're just like, I need to keep making content, I need to just keep getting better. I think you have a responsibility to whatever the cause is to now use your platform as a way to enhance that cause or whatever. So I think LeBron James using his platform as a very well known.
He's 18. He said it. I'm like 30 plus. I say it. He's 18. I'm telling you.
Oh,
guys, I keep saying that, and people say, "Yo, man, no, that's not right."
No, as someone who has his platform, when people are looking at him, everything he does, people are watching, and if he were like right now, if LeBron James were to go over and like I don't know. Like kick over a trash can in the middle of nowhere, people would be like, "Oh my God, headlines! LeBron kicks over a trash can." So him using his platform where everyone's watching to do something good and push people that he feels like need to be pushed.
If LeBron shared your music, what would you do?
If LeBron shared my music, I mean, okay. First of all, let me just tell you, I used to play basketball.
Okay.
Like
my first.
Nah, my knees are messed up. I can't play no more. But like when I first started life. Yeah. My thing, like my love and passion, I was gonna go to the NBA. I was the biggest LeBron fan ever. Like I had I still have. Okay. I have like 3 different Heat jerseys. I got 4 old Cavs jerseys. I got the new Cavs jersey, and I bought like 2 different versions of the LA jersey. Yeah, dude, I am the biggest LeBron James fan ever. So if LeBron James shared my music,
I think he would love your music.
I think I'd freak out. I think I might freak out. Yeah.
We'll make that happen, maybe. You never know.
One day, bro. I'm gonna meet all these people one day.
Bless, brother. Okay. So as we're driving back to your studio, are you gonna continue shooting? Or?
Yeah. No. Yeah. We got some more stuff.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Tell me about the your music, the new one that's coming up. Actually, before we get into that, I've heard you say something along the lines that there's a hip hop community in the UAE. What are your thoughts about it, and what do you feel related to that, or your goal is to go back, obviously, to the US? What's your goal when it comes to music
in the UAE?
Yeah.
So first, just starting on how I'm gonna stay within it. I think I am moving back to the US. I'm moving back to California in like a couple months because I'm graduating. So
congrats.
I appreciate it, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and live there. But I really want to continue. I want to come back as much as possible and continue to push the hip hop scene. I want to start another little festival in the light of kind of like a buckleupdxb type thing. But because I've got some artists back in the U.S. that have been talking to me, and I'm just like, hey, if you want to, we can come. Because we can start small and just be like, hey, just have a couple artists, advertise it, come out, shoot kind of like the thing you were doing.
Nice, the beat and stuff like that. Yeah.
So that was dope. I think that whole scene kind of inspired me to do something like that. So
nice.
We can do something like that. So I think I will continue to come back and do stuff like that. Push new artists. There's a lot of artists in Dubai that I know who, well, I guess they're not artists yet, but they're they're the type of people who's like, yeah, I've made a bunch of songs, but I don't want to release them because I don't know if they'll do well or whatever. I'm like, yo, dude, release it. Like the market's there for you. Like you can do it.
But obviously, there's a big difference between markets over here in the UAE and the US.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the thing. Like I have friends here who want to make music, but I don't know, they're just scared to. So I want to push them to do some more. I don't know. I think there's a lot of open space to do stuff here, and I want to come up with some creative stuff to be able to push the scene a little bit. But my thoughts on the hip hop scene in general, I think even just music, outside of performers, like A-list performers coming in to I'm just talking about upcoming music. It's a very small market to be in. It feels very I don't know, like I feel like I basically know everyone already. And I've been like to what I've done like 2 shows. And I've just talked to a couple people and I pretty much know everyone. People were like, oh, you know that one guy? I'm like, oh yeah, I met him at the one. I just you're right. I mean, it's a small baby, I would say. Like the scene or the industry. When you talk about industry, it's not really an industry, in my opinion. It's more like a hub. But how long has it how long has it been like really booming? Like
look again. I myself have been here for 2 years and a half. I've relocated from Saudi, but I know for a fact that people like The Recipe, for example, have been performing since 10 years or so. So they've been on 10 years. So but there's a lot of people that I would say for the past 3-4 years things have been. Really heating up, especially the last 3 years. A lot of people are releasing with obviously with the help of the streaming services coming in. Also, it's helping out.
But I think it definitely has a lot of room to grow. Like it definitely has that space to become something. Like I feel like Dubai has that potential to be like, you know how people think of Japan and they think like Japanese hip hop is like they do it well, like it's their thing. Like they have their own little style, but they do it well. I feel like Dubai can become that new little.
Look, I'll add to that. There's I think very small percentage of rappers in the States who are really big timers who don't know Dubai. Everyone knows Dubai.
Right.
Like if I say Jeddah, which is my hometown, none of these rappers, I'm sure none of these rappers would know.
Right.
But Dubai is already there. Travis Scott knows Dubai. He's always here about, There's a lot of rappers that know Dubai. Maybe in my opinion for the wrong reasons. Because they come here for the glam and the biggest, tallest building in the world and the sand and stuff like that.
Kind of like just the luxury of it.
But I mean, I think it's more powerful than that. But yeah, I mean, automatically, that is the only thing though I feel a bit sad about. I think there's no identity yet for like if you look at Atlanta hip hop is different. Than LA hip hop. There is a message. There is a kind of
you can hear it. Just the music. You can just that's probably
this guy's from New York. Right, you can tell.
I think, but that's what I'm saying. Like I think that if the people who are here already and stationed here kind of push it and make it a point to try to do that and to push that identity. I think that it can I think Dubai hip hop or Middle Eastern hip hop in general could just be like a very
Middle Eastern hip hop is a bit different because like I support a lot of Arab hip hop rappers and they do Arabic, and obviously a lot of problems that are happening in the Arab world, they talk about that politically, so it's a bit politically charged when it comes to the Arabic language of hip hop, of rap. But over here, we don't have a lot of Arab rappers. There's a lot of Arab rappers, but there's not a lot of Arabic hip hop. There's only a few. Like Freak is one of them. It was one of my favorite rappers, Somali, but he's based over here. But yeah, the others are mainly Arabs, but performing in English, which is also cool. But this is what they're talking about. I heard you say one time that, you know, obviously with the Dubai, people leave every 4 or 5 years, so it's also hard to do like a fan base. And
that's what I'm struggling with right now.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Because right now it's like I've been trying to build like a business plan for my music, but it's hard to try to figure out in what way that I'm going to approach that because I mean a lot of people who approached me after I did Soul and would just congratulate on my stuff. Like I think maybe like 50% of them weren't even living here. They came for Soul. So I was like, wow, like you guys are fans, but you're not even here.
You're not here. So
if I were to do a show, you can't come. I think so. Yeah, it's very interesting to try to figure out how to do that. But I think that's what I'm saying. Like it's easy when you're A-list because then everyone knows you and you just come and you perform and people are like, oh yeah.
Do you think about the business of music as well?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, especially with how I'm moving back to LA.
You always think business as well.
Yeah, you have to. You have to because dude, that's how people get. People get completely like screwed over in their music, and I mean that's the thing. Like Jay-Z is like the. I call him like the godfather of hip hop right now. He is on top of everything.
Business-wise,
he's the guy who, when you say you want to be a rapper,
like look what he did with Tidal. I think, in my opinion, like it's incredible.
I'm like the only person who uses Tidal. Everyone clowns me for it. And I don't know why. No, Tidal is dope, man. Tidal is cool.
What he was able to do, you know, for the culture using that platform was amazing. Okay, so listen, I gotta talk about your parents,
right?
Because this is, I mean, I've met them 2-3 months ago. We were doing this show with the guys, Harmony. Shout out to the Harmony brothers.
Yeah, shout out.
And then, man, it's incredible. They're amazing, seriously.
Yeah.
God bless them. And I think, in my opinion, there's a lot of amazing things that they're able to help out. So, if you can shout them out and talk about them, what would you say?
I would just say that, like, man, they've really been patient with me. Like, it's crazy to think of the journey of where they've gotten to now. Because it wasn't like this all the time. No. When we first started, my dad was so mad at me when I told him I wanted to be a rapper. He was so mad. He was like, "Are you serious?" Because at first I want to be a basketball player, and so he used to play sports. He used to play soccer. He actually went professional for a little bit.
Nice.
But so for him that was like, okay, cool. I live in that world. I understand how it works. I can help you with that.
Yeah.
And then he thought I was gonna be like a lawyer or something, and then I said I wanted to be a rapper or singer or whatever. And at first I remember him just being like, he didn't. I don't even think I remember him answering. I think I told him and he was kind of like, okay. And then that was kind of the end of it. But
wow.
But then the thing is
I think they're your biggest fans.
Yeah, no, they are. Because I applaud him because he basically. The reason why I'm so into the business is because of him. Like that's his whole job now. It's a business. So he said, okay, if you're gonna do this, then you're gonna be business savvy the whole time as well. Because
I like that.
I'm not gonna let you just get gypped by all these record labels and all these these people trying to get your money.
Yeah, it becomes like it's a snake world out there.
Exactly.
You don't know who's real, who really wants to benefit of you. And it's important, man. I've always said that it's so important to have a support system. And in my opinion, I think you have it. You have that support system. Whether it's your parents and your friends, close people. But big up to them, man.
Yeah,
and your mother is a musician. She's a singer, right?
Yeah. Unofficially. Like, she tried to record a couple tracks when she was in college, I think, or something like that. She could. I mean, if you were to ask her, she probably won't. But if you were to ask her and she said, yeah, she could sing like some crazy stuff to you. So, but like that's the thing. They've basically. I mean, they're my managers. Both of them are my managers. So they're the people I fall back on, and I don't have to worry about some third party manager or whatever who's who I don't have any blood
affiliation
or
I mean, they really genuinely care.
Yeah, I mean, if it was
big up to them. Seriously, I've always said that because there's simply. I've always said it in all the buckle ups. I've said it because they can simply somehow be able to shut it down
at any point.
At any point. But they took that and they were supportive. And I think
me with that
now, would you retaliate? Maybe you would, but I mean, again, that relationship is, I think, crucially important. And I think
for sure.
Again, man, big up to you, brother. Listen, we're going on the way back now, dropping you back to work again.
Okay.
But I want to hear, a little something from the amazing Zenden.
All right. Well,
so whatever you decide to make us here,
got a little something
right here on Buckle Up.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we got the track Who Shot You, I think.
Nice.
We could do that.
Okay.
Like, this is prime song? Yeah.
Tell me about the song first.
Yeah, so this song is I don't know what number it is. I wish I was that cool. I could just name the numbers on my track. Okay, so it's one of the tracks on my album, my last album, B. It's one of my favorites because it's the only one with like heavy 808s on it on the album, because the rest of the album's kind of acoustic sounding.
Okay.
And I wrote it to be kind of like an interesting story kind of thing.
Okay.
Because so it sounds like just some like gangbanging song that you would like blast with your subs, open the windows down or whatever. But I have it's actually a story about like the juxtaposition between like death in relation to gang violence and death in relation to police brutality, and kind of how it's like it's literally one in the same. Like I have a line there where I say, I'm about to say the story of the boy and the bullet. One's hard and one tries to be. Talking about just how, like, you know, growing up in like a black community like that, you kind of feel like you have to be hard, even though you may not. You might be like the most teddy bear person ever, but you feel like you have to be hard. And whether that's because of where you grow up or just the world, you feel like you have to have that kind of shield up. But the bullet that you use is hard, and so you use that as kind of the weapon of your choice to project that onto. So I had that, and then
what?
But like no one gets it though. No one gets it.
You 18?
Yeah, I mean, I was 17 when I wrote this. But
I don't know what that means. I don't know how to translate that. Translate that to him. No, seriously, I'm so impressed, man. I keep saying that because I think it's important for that kind of narrative that you're doing to be cool, right?
Yeah.
The problem that we face is like, because when I talk, I'm 37, 38 years old. People see it as preaching.
Yeah.
And preaching, it doesn't work anymore. Like that kind of tell you what to do.
That's the thing.
Does not work.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
It needs to be cool.
People think I preach a lot of.
No. But you're cool when you're doing it. You know, you're cool. It's cool watching you. Like, man, let me just tell you quickly. I put that movement on my Instagram. Bro, I got like 10, 12 messages, DMs. What? Who that?
For real?
Who? Yeah. And I'm like, when I heard that, I was like, wow. I mean, when you put something on Instagram, you can tell how the people are vibing to it.
I didn't even think people like listen to it like that.
Man, because, you know, first of all, people's attention span are short. And when you put it 15 seconds, you know, Insta story, automatically you hit them with that. And I think, boom, it's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, go ahead, man. This is incredible. So yeah.
I don't remember how this song starts off as an instrumental, because I'm pretty sure I speak first in the song, but.
Okay, let's see.
Watch out, who shot you? You don't want this lead waterfall. Better call you a doctor. This is dialect you can't learn from teachers or local scholars. Let that strap talk like black kaka. This is prime time, homie. I said, watch out, who shot you? You don't want this lead waterfall. Better call you a doctor. This is dialect you can't learn from teachers or local scholars. Let that strap talk like black kaka. I said, gather round, kids. Watch how I put it. I'm about to tell you the tale of the boy and the bullet. Pull it back. I preface my story with some fable intentions. I prophesize the demise of my wicked intentions. One of them is hard and the others try to be. Ain't no game this Sega Genesis sentenced the prodigy. Hold up. One is loud and one's a song staying blessed. One's over on one note that promises endless rest. Wait, drop that, hold up, wait, cop that. You don't want this renegade, you better stop that. Up your inhibitions, boy, don't stop that. Up your Escalade, you better cop that. All your sentimental shit, you better pop that. Mental, your story's never ending. I never instrumentals, I said, one's over, one told you that told you. I said, look, it's prime time, homie. I said, watch out, who shot you? You don't want this lead waterfall. Better call you a doctor. This a dialect you can't learn from teachers or local scholars. Let that strap talk like braka. I said, it's prime time, homie. I said, watch out, who shot you? You don't want this lead waterfall. Better call you a doctor. This a dialect you can't learn from teachers or local scholars. Let that strap talk like the revolution will not be televised. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just remember my lyrics real quick. Yeah. Let me spit. You want to hear? You know what? Let me do it. You want to hear?
Man.
Let me kick this freestyle. I wrote the other day, bro.
Man, I swear, excuse, I'm normal.
Oh, check
it's not
this.
real. Okay, go. Hey.
Yeah, turn this up for me. Yeah. Check it. Look. Yeah. I spent my whole life praying for God to give me a chance. I was tweaking, I had it all along the weekends, preaching my dances that's in the dark, believing what I had was the shit. I made a choice to commit. Don't take a genius to get the shit that I conceive. Jeez Louise, please, I'm at ease. My shit done made it to Dubai, blood, we trip overseas. These niggas best bars, my throwaways, they thankful indeed. These niggas mumbling on average, so I say what they mean. Lucifer steady at my door all the time, Premonitions and dreams, he like, come home for a while, Telling me it's my time and they don't love you like I can give you the word, I'm like, yeah, that's nice, Right the steps to my throne, watch like easy and hold shots to your dome. Props to my gold bar, y'all later than dome, y'all should go home. Too many boo-hoo niggas crying like who knew these new dudes can catch this fade, nigga. Them in the crew too, but it shoots you. The two black swan lift up that tutu. Ballerina dancing on my name, Caliber stay on deuce singing this. Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude. Oh man, big up to you, my brother.
Well, I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Wow, seriously, man. Man, this rhyming gets like, how do you start writing?
I freestyle most of it. Like this is one. That's one of the things where like I wrote.
Do you write by pencil or pen or usually this?
Both.
Okay.
Whichever one's convenient at the time. Like right now, I don't have my. If I would want to write something down, I don't have my pad, so I'll write it down here. But like I freestyle. Like this is a. I mean, technically it's written down.
Yeah.
But I freestyled the whole thing, like just literally bar from bar. The first thing that came to my head, I wrote it down, just so I could keep it.
It just flew.
It just kind of flew, yeah. I mean, that was the first time that I really rapped it, to be honest. The first time I did it, I just wrote it down, and that was the flow that I caught.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Man, this beat too.
Man. Okay, in terms of production as well, you produce your own things.
Yes, sir.
All the songs.
Yeah, as much as I can do. I mean, if I feel like there's a producer who can give me the image that I need to portray better than I can, then I'll give them that. But
majority of the songs right now are produced by you.
Yeah, I like to keep it in house. It's easier that way, just so I can get stuff done quicker. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this episode will be out maybe in a week's time or so.
Okay.
What can people expect from Zenden, like the next 2-3 months, let's say?
The next 2-3 months?
The video?
Yeah, the video that we'll be working on right now should come up hopefully by the end of the month, maybe beginning of May, something like that.
Nice. Okay.
And then I'm working on a project that will be coming out when it comes out. So
I'm trying to get things out of it.
Yeah.
Project.
Yeah, it's a project that we're working on. That'll come out when that happens.
Bless, brother.
So,
Listen, I want to wish you all the best, man.
Well, thank you,
seriously, brother, man.
Me, bro.
You're somebody who I'm really. I mean, I said I'll do 20 minutes with you, but then like we did 45 minutes. I don't know, man. What can I do?
I had a good ass time, bro.
I'm just saying, man. Seriously, blessings to you and your lovely parents. I think it's crucially important. You're very important, man. To forget Dubai hip hop to the hip hop community. I'm telling you all, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that will be, honored to help you, man, and push your music whenever, like, when like, count me as your servant, brother. That's what I'm trying to. Well, that's what I'm about to say.
Yo, bro,
seriously,
I appreciate it,
when I say that, I mean when I found out I'm interviewing you, I even talked to my wife and I said, listen, I'm a bit kind of nervous because I want to. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Because, I look like you're somebody who I really want to support and push, but you're also making an impact. And for anxious nervous, like in a good way. Because you're like the raw of what hip hop is about for me.
Man, thank you, man.
And you're a young age, and this is important, crucially important. I keep talking about that because the young people that I see around me, they're not in that mind frame. They're not there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say lost, but it's just they're different. And I think stuff like that is crucially important, man.
Well, man, thank you. That means a lot, bro.
Yeah, man. Seriously,
appreciate it, bro.
There's no words enough in the world that can do justice of how I feel about your music. So
thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah,
And best of luck. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Follow the brother. What's your social media real quick?
Just Zenden Lavon on everything. Zenden Lavon. Everything.
Remember the name. Zenden. Peace and love, guys. Salam.
Peace, bro.